Released in 1996, Scream became a groundbreaking film that helped redefine the horror genre with its sharp self-awareness and meta-commentary. Not only did it offer a fresh take on the slasher genre, but it also poked fun at the very tropes that had become iconic within it. One of the most memorable scenes in the film features Randy Meeks, Jamie Kennedy, listing the rules for surviving a horror movie, all of which have deeper meanings and reflect the genre's conventions. Here's a breakdown of those rules and what they really mean. Rule 1. You can never have sex. Randy's first rule, you can never have sex, references a long-standing trope in horror films, particularly slasher movies, where characters who engage in sexual activity are often the first to die. This rule is influenced by films like Halloween, 1978, where characters like Linda and Bob are killed after engaging in sexual activity. The reasoning behind this trope is simple. Characters who have sex are often depicted as reckless and distracted, making them easy targets for killers. However, in Scream, this rule is subverted. Sidney Prescott, Neve Campbell, the final girl, does have sex with Billy Loomis, Skeet Ulrich, during the film. Yet, she survives the film, ultimately defeating Billy in the end. Sidney's survival proves that the typical final girl trope, where the pure, sexually innocent character survives, can be played with and reinterpreted. Rule 2. You can never drink or do drugs. Randy's second rule is that you can't drink or do drugs if you want to survive. In many slasher films, characters who partake in substances like alcohol or drugs often meet grisly fates. The logic here is that when under the influence, a character's ability to think clearly and react quickly is compromised, making them more vulnerable to attack. In Scream, this rule is also subverted. Some characters who break the rule, like Tatum Riley, Rose McGowan, drink at the party and still meet an untimely end. Tatum's attempt to escape through the garage door is one of the most memorable and tragic deaths of the film. But Randy, who is drinking as he gives his speech, survives long enough to help Sidney and others, proving once again that following the rules doesn't guarantee survival. Rule 3. Never, ever, ever under any circumstances say, "I'll be right back." The third rule, never say "I'll be right back," is a playful jab at a common horror movie cliché, the character who says they'll be right back, only to meet a grisly end shortly after. This phrase has become an iconic signal in horror films that the character speaking it is likely to die. In Scream, this line is delivered by Stu Macher, Matthew Lillard, one of the killers. As Randy is explaining the rules, Stu humorously mocks the idea by exaggerating the phrase, knowingly breaking the rule in a self-aware moment. Ironically, Stu does leave the group, only to be killed by a falling television set at the end of the film. This subversion of the rule further reinforces Scream's ability to play with genre conventions. Breaking the rules and survival. One of the key aspects of Scream is that while the characters are aware of these horror movie rules, it doesn't always protect them from death. The film shows how the typical tropes of slasher movies are both adhered to and subverted in unexpected ways. Characters like Billy and Stu break rules, such as having sex or drinking, and still survive until the end of the film, while others who follow the rules aren't guaranteed safety. Ghostface, the killer, doesn't seem to follow any set pattern when it comes to who survives and who dies, reinforcing the unpredictability of the genre. This ambiguity is what keeps the audience on edge, making Scream a perfect example of how horror can deconstruct itself while still delivering thrills. Conclusion: Scream took the slasher genre, turned it on its head, and made audiences question the very rules that they thought they understood. The film both acknowledges and mocks the conventions of horror movies, offering a fresh take while maintaining the suspense and thrill that the genre is known for. The rules that Randy outlines are a clever commentary on what makes horror movies so compelling, showing that sometimes it's not about following the rules, it's about surviving despite them.